for the love of... Okay, fine. Desperate times be calling for desperate measures. I just, never thought I'd be getting this desperate. I swear, you spread one lousy touch of gossip regarding one tavern keeper getting cursed, and next thing you know, Madame Olivia be getting all uppity with you, and trade companies all across the ancient isles have you blacklisted from working for 'em. Ridiculous. Well, I'll show 'em. I'll show 'em all. I still be good for something. I just need a moment to say goodbye to my dignity. You see, some time back, the residents of each of the outposts decided to put up what they called quest bards out by the docks. A place for pirates to share maps to their buried riches. Which be fine in theory, but, well, I don't know about you, matey, but when I be burying my treasure, I tend to be doing it 'cause I don't want no one to find it. And, as it turns out, most pirates be of a similar disposition. Nowadays, them boards mostly be a dumping ground for loot that weren't even worth hauling back to your ship. Or worse, they be leading you straight into a death trap. So, naturally, I weren't exactly excited to be brushing past the dust and cobwebs to see what maps were on offer. Well, let's see what we got. Discovery Ridge. Oh, 2 for Fool's Lagoon. I'll be taking both of them. Crooks Hollow. I swear, these had better be damn good. Once I had me maps, I went to plot me course before setting sail with the wind at me back and something to prove. Except the wind weren't actually at me back and they were heading the wrong way. But that being no matter to me, what were a touch more concerning were the Fort of Fortune that were active just an island over from me first mark. Or, to be more exact, the brigantine what were pulled up beside her. No doubt in me mind, they'd be rather defensive over another ship turning up. So I would need to be swift here, for me own sake. Look as it that Cutlass Key were a small island, meaning I had time to check the barrels and deal with some ghosts before I got to digging. The digs themselves were easier than normal too, buried with a certain sloppiness that made it hard not to spot 'em. You know, I could almost get used to living off of this. Easy work, low risk. I get to pick what region I go to. Anyway, where were I? Alright. The only downside to doing this for a living be, well, aside from completely debasing myself, it would be the cheap loot. I mean, trinkets be nice and all, but I'm hardly about to build myself a fortune on knickknacks what make me less gold than me bar tab now, am I? Ah, well, once the company representatives through the Ancient Isles respect me again, I won't need to be doing any more of this anyhow. Now that me work on Cutlass Key were settled, it were time for me to head off to my next island, Crooks Hollow. There be rumors abound surrounding this island. Tall tales of strange sounds at the stroke of midnight, or sightings of a ghoulish figure watching our pirates would come to the island. Well, entertaining as these stories may be, I've yet to see nor hear nothing like what's been described. So I'll belay my willingness to believe such ghost stories for now. After all, I had treasure to find, and I'd never met a spirit what I couldn't put to rest. The first thing I'd find would be a storage crate, with some fairly decent supplies held within, but, well, I wouldn't be able to sell it. Even still, it were worth taking, especially when you consider the commotion coming from the fort. I could hear the cannon fire from here. Be it from the brigantine or from the sentry towers, I couldn't rightly tell. But as long as it weren't directed at me, I wouldn't be having no issue. I saw another glint out in the bushes as I were searching for my spot. Upon further inspection, I found it to be a seafarer's chest. Not the best, but at least it ain't a castaway. But that were enough distractions. The sun were setting, and I didn't want to be sticking around past nightfall. Not because I were scared or nothing. I just wanted to get me voyage underway is all. Anyway, it weren't long before I found the first dig spot, meaning I were a step closer to moving along to the next island. It were another near worthless little trinket, but something strange did happen while I were taking it back to me ship. It were like I were paralyzed, completely unable to move of me own volition, with a chill running down me spine. I blinked, and I swear to you, in the time it took, I found myself in the water, with no clue to how I got there. But I'm sure there'd be a reasonable answer, right? Regardless, I heard the cannon fire from afar grow more and more intense, to a point where I just had to go and take a look. It seemed the skeleton galleon had joined in the... Now what in God's green earth were that? No. Seriously, what were that? Okay, no. What were... Oh. Well, I'll be damned. Just past midnight. Well, that were enough lollygagging for me. I set my sights to scouring every last inch of that island until I found my treasure. And I were pleasantly surprised by what I dug up. An ashen merchant crate ain't exactly the heights of luxury, sure, but it don't be something to turn your nose up to, neither. I brought it down to me meager loot pile on the shore, used me harpoon to grab it all, and went on me way, far away from that godforsaken rock. Next on my list were Fool's Lagoon, another small island for which I had 2 maps. Should be a walk in the park, and perhaps one with a profit at that. Right off the bat, I spotted a gem floating in the water. A good start, if ever there were one. A start which were made even better once I saw that loose treasure chest, all stuffed with gold. Not to mention, mere moments later, the ashen keymaster what fell to me blade. All this loot without so much as touching me shovel. Who needs the trading companies anyhow, eh? Once I had everything all piled up, I got to work, and with such a small island, it were a simple matter for the rich to be getting richer. Not that I be rich. I swear I will be, but I don't be at the moment. Anyhow, the rest of my digs here went without incident. An ashen castaway chest and a fireworks crate were the next fruits of my labor from the second map. Now, with everything aboard, I set off to my last island, Discovery Ridge. Now, this were a big island with plenty of ground to cover. But thankfully, all of the treasures were down on the beaches, making them easy for me to spot. Listen, I know I got lazy there, but there'll only be so many ways I can say that I dug up more loot before I be repeating myself. Anyway, now that my last map were finished, I made my way back to the outpost so I could turn in my haul and see what gold I've earned. Now, you might be thinking,
Well, Captain, that's nice and all, but have you learned anything from your voyage?
and as a matter of fact, I have. I learned that the quest bards be a fat load of cracking shit.